General Motors, bailout AIG, bailout Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, and all of those steps were quite wrong. Now President Obama is saying as that money comes back, because the banks' stock was bought as an alternative, should be used again as he thinks best. It's not your money, President Obama. It is our money. And under the law, the money, when it is returned, is to be used to reduce the deficit. So here's what we should do. The banks are now have those assets parked in the Federal Reserve Board. They should get back to lending. This notion that President Obama will target individual worthy borrowers sounds very much like Barney Frank, who said to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, why don't you just roll the dice a little bit? Take a chance with the taxpayers' money. He didn't put it quite that way. He did say roll the dice, however, because our hearts are in the right place. We know what is right. No, there is no government substitute for the free market. There should be no bailout. And the free market opportunity to win is also responsibility if you lose. No bailouts. Taxpayers don't owe a thing to those companies that made mistakes and got themselves into this fix.
All right, that's former Congressman Tom Campbell. Chuck DeVore, the Assemblyman.
Well, this is a very key issue where you can kind of tell the instinctive differences between these three main candidates for the U.S. Senate. I believe that the purpose of government is to secure our unalienable rights, not try to protect us from our own greed and stupidity. While you heard some nuance from my colleague Tom Campbell on the issue, he did say to David Frum at Frum Forum that he would have supported the TARP bailout because he didn't see an alternative. And in the case of Carly Fiorina, she was the chief economic advisor to John McCain at the time and was advocating on outlets like MSNBC why we needed to do it. And I think it's very important to note that this hastily crafted bill, a bill that was crafted in panic because Congress had to do something, led to the nationalization of 2/3 of the U.S. automotive manufacturing industry. It led to the takeover of the largest insurance company in America, AIG, and it led to the effective control, whether through stock or through regulation, of more than half of the American banking.
Should we have let everybody go bankrupt then?
Absolutely. That is the part of capitalism.
Well, what about everybody who would have been out of work? I mean, that would have been...
You have to let capitalism work because without reward, you have to have risk and reward twinned together. Now, here's what was not addressed, and this is the most important part. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have distorted the marketplace. They are two government-sponsored enterprises that never should have been called into existence. And our president put $400 billion of our money into Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac on Christmas Eve when all you gentlemen in the audience were probably